Johann Baptist Joseph Maximilian.Reger was a German composer, pianist, organist, conductor, and academic teacher. He worked as a concert pianist, as a musical director at the Leipzig University Church, as a professor at the Royal Conservatory in Leipzig, and as a music director at the court of Duke Georg II of Saxe-Meiningen.Reger composed first mainly lieder, chamber music, choral music and works for piano and organ. He later turned to orchestral compositions, such as the popular Variations and Fugue on a theme by Mozart, and to works for choir and orchestra such as Gesang der Verklärten, der 100. Psalm, der Einsiedler and the Hebel Requiem. Career. Born in Brand, Bavaria, Reger studied music theory in Sondershausen, then piano and theory in Wiesbaden. The first compositions to which he assigned opus numbers were chamber music and lieder. A concert pianist himself, he composed works for both piano and organ. His first work for choir and piano to which he assigned an opus number was Drei-Chor. Reger returned to his parental home in 1898, where he composed his first work for choir and orchestra, Hymn und den Gesang, Op. 21. From 1899, he courted Else von Birken, who first rejected him. He composed many songs such as Sexlieder, Op. 35, on love poems by 5 authors. Reger moved to Munich in September 1901, where he obtained concert offers and where his rapid rise to fame began. During his first Munich season, Reger appeared in 10 concerts as an organist, chamber pianist and accompanist. Income from publishers, concerts and private teaching enabled him to marry in 1902. Because his wife Elsa was a divorced Protestant, he was excommunicated from the Catholic Church. He continued to compose without interruption, for example Gesang der Verklärten, Op. 71. In 1907, Reger was appointed musical director at the Leipzig University Church, a position he held until 1908, and professor at the Royal Conservatory in Leipzig. In 1908 he began to compose Der 100. Psalm, Op. 106, a setting of Psalm chapter 100 for mixed choir and orchestra, for the 350th anniversary of Jena University. Part 1 was premiered on the 31st of July that year. Reger completed the composition in 1909, premiered in 1910 simultaneously in both Chemnitz and Breslau. In 1911 Reger was appointed Hofkapellmeister at the court of Duke Georg II of Saxe-Meiningen, responsible also for music at the Meiningen Court Theatre. He retained his masterclass at the Leipzig Conservatory. In 1913 he composed 4-tone poems on paintings by Arnold Böcklin, including Die Toteninsel as his Op. 128. He gave up the court position in 1914 for health reasons. In response to World War I, he thought in 1914 already to compose a choral work to commemorate the fallen of the war. He began to set the Latin Requiem but abandoned the work as a fragment. He composed 8 motets forming a Cht geistliche Gesang für Gemischten Chor, Op. 138, as a master of new simplicity. In 1915 he moved to Jena, commuting once a week to teach in Leipzig. He composed in Jena the Hebel Requiem for soloist, choir and orchestra. Reger died of a heart attack while staying at a hotel in Leipzig on the 11th of May 1916. The proofs of Cht geistliche Gesang, including Der Mensch liebt und Beste hat nur eine kleine Zeit, were found next to his bed. Reger had also been active internationally as a conductor and pianist. Among his students were Joseph Haas, Sandor Chemnitz, Jaroslav Kvapil, Ruben Iljefes, Rudolf Dührkoop, Georg and Christopher Taltebul. Reger was the cousin of Hans von Koessler. Works. Reger produced an enormous output in just over 25 years, nearly always in abstract forms. Few of his compositions are well known in the 21st century. Many of his works are fugues or in variation form, including what is probably his best-known orchestral work, the Variations and Fugue on a theme by Mozart, based on the opening theme of Mozart's Piano Sonata in A major, K. 331. Reger wrote a large amount of music for organ, the most popular being his Fantasy and Fugue on Bach, Op. 46, and the Toccata and Fugue in D minor from the collection Op. 129. While a student under Hugo Riemann in Wiesbaden, Reger met their German organist, Karl Straube. They became friends, and Straube premiered many of Reger's organ works, such as the three chorale fantasias, Op. 52. Reger was particularly attracted to the fugal form and created music in almost every genre, save for opera and the symphony. A similarly firm supporter of absolute music, he saw himself as being part of the tradition of Beethoven and Brahms. His work often combined the classical structures of these composers with the extended harmonies of Liszt and Wagner, to which he added the complex counterpoint of Bach. Reger's organ music, though also influenced by Liszt, was provoked by that tradition. Some of the works for solo string instruments turn up often on recordings, though less regularly in recitals. His solo piano and two-piano music places him as a successor to Brahms in the Central German tradition. He pursued intensively, and to its limits, Brahms's continuous development and free modulation are often also invoking, like Brahms, the aid of Bach-influenced polyphony. Reger was a prolific writer of vocal works, lieder, works for mixed chorus, men's chorus and female chorus, and extended choral works with orchestra such as Der 100. Psalm and Requiem, a setting of a poem by Friedrich Hebel, which Reger dedicated to the soldiers of World War I. He composed music to texts by poets such as Gabriel D'Annunzio, Otto Julius Bierbaum, Adalbert von Chamisso, Joseph von Eichendorff, Emanuel Geibel, Friedrich Hebel, Nikolaus Lenauer, Dieter von Lilienkron, Friedrich Rackett and Ludwig Uhland. Reger assigned opus numbers to major works himself. His works could be considered retrospective as they followed classical and Baroque compositional techniques such as fugue and continuo. The influence of the latter can be heard in his chamber works, which are deeply reflective and unconventional. Reception. In 1898, Caesar Hochstetter, an arranger, composer and critic, published an article entitled Noch einmal Max Reger in a music magazine. Caesar recommended Reger as a highly talented young composer to the publishers. Reger thanked Hochstetter with the dedications of his piano pieces Aquarellin, Op. 25, and sync pieces Pittoresques, Op. 34. Reger had an acrimonious relationship with Rudolf Dührkoop, a music critic of the Münchner Neueste Nachrichten, who usually had negative opinions of his compositions. After the first performance of the Sinfonietta in A major, Op. 90, on the 2nd of February 1906, Louis wrote a typically negative review on the 7th of February. Reger wrote back to him, Ich sitze in dem kleinsten Zimmer in meinem Haus. Ich habe eine Kritik vor mir. Im nächsten Augenblick wird sie hinter mir sein. Films. The documentary Max Reger, Music as a Perpetual State, by Andreas Pickler and Ewald Kontschieder, Miramonti film, was released in 2002. It was the first factually based film documentation about Max Reger. It was produced in cooperation with the Max Reger Institute. Max-Reger, The Last Giant, a documentary film about the life and works of Max Reger, is currently in production and due for release in December 2016, to mark the 100th anniversary of Reger's death. It is produced by Fugue State Films and includes excerpts from Reger's most important works for orchestra, piano, chamber ensemble and organ, with performances by Frauke May, Bernhard Haas, Bernhard Buttmann and the Brandenburgisches Staatsorchester. Bibliography: Albright, Daniel ed. Modernism and Music, an Anthology of Sources. University of Chicago Press. ISBN 0-226-012662. Anderson, Christopher, Max Reger and Karl Strauber, Perspectives on an Organ Performing Tradition. Aldershot, Hampshire, Ashgate Publishing. ISBN 0-7546-30757. Bittman, Antonius. Max Reger and Historicist Modernisms. Baden-Baden, Kerner. ISBN 3-87320-595-5. Blursch Stocker, Adele. Erinnerungen an Max Reger. Bern. H. Blursch. Brock Reger, Charlotte. Main Veta Max Reger. Die Zeit. Retrieved 26 November 2015. Kadenbach, Rainer. Max Reger Unsenzeit. Laber Verlag. ISBN 3-89007-1406. Grimm, William. Max Reger, A Biobibliography. Westport, P. Connecticut, Greenwood Press. ISBN 0-313-253110. Hafner, Roland. Max Reger, Clarinet and Quintetop. 146. Munich, W. Fink Verlag. ISBN 3-7705-1973-6. Kirschnert, Fred. Max Reger, Psalm Chapter 100, Op. 106. American Symphony Orchestra. Retrieved 9 May 2010. Krumbiegel, Martin. Sichert, Martina ed. Von der Kunst der Beschränkung, Aufführungspraktischer, Überlegungen zu Max Regers, der Mensch liebt und beste hat nur eine kleine Zeit, Op. 138, Number 1. Anna Erinnerungen an Max Reger. Georg Ulms Verlag. pp. 231-243. Lux, Antonius ed. Großfrauen der Weltgeschichte. 1000 Biografien in Wort und Bild. Munich, Sebastian Lux Verlag. p. 386. CS1 maint. Unrecognized language. Lu, Hsin Hung, A Study on Compositional Structure in Max Reger Fantasy für Orgel über den Choral. Halleluja. Gott zu loben, bleib mein Seelenfreud. D.M.A. Dissertation. Seattle, University of Washington. Mead, Andrew. Listening to Reger. The Musical Quarterly 87. No. 4. 681-707. Mercier, Richard. The Songs of Max Reger, A Guidance Study. Lanham, Maryland, Scarecrow Press. ISBN 978-0810861206. Reger, Else von Bagensky. Mein Leben mit und für Max Reger, Erinnerungen von Else Reger. Leipzig, Kohler and Amp, Lang. Reger, Max. Selected Writings of Max Reger, edited and translated by Christopher Anderson. New York, Routledge. ISBN 0-415-97382-1. Schreiber, Ottenmar and Inchborg Schreiber. Max Reger in Seinen Konsten, 3 vols. Veröffentlichung an des Max Reger Institute 7. Bonn, Dummler, ISBN 3-427-86271-2. Traxler, Carol. Max Reger, archived from the original on 25 October 2009. Retrieved 19 October 2013. Schroeder, Heribert, ACHT Geistlich Gesang Op. 138, Karas Verlag, pp. 5-6. Retrieved 15 April 2016. Slonimsky, Nicholas. Lexicon of Musical Invective. New York, Coleman Ross. ISBN 9780393320091. Williamson, John. Reger, Max. The New Grove Dictionary of Music and Musicians, 2nd edition, edited by Stanley Sadie and John Tyrrell, London, Macmillan Publishers. Max Reger Curriculum Vitae, Max Reger Institute, retrieved 2 October 2012. Max Reger's Works, Max Reger Institute, Elsa Reger Stiftung, retrieved 2 March 2016. Der 100, Psalm Opus 106, Max Reger Institute, Elsa Reger Stiftung, retrieved 22 April 2016. Reger, ACHT Geistlich Gesang Op. 138, Karas Verlag, retrieved 26 November 2015. Max Reger, Music as a Perpetual State, Muspilo, it, retrieved 23 June 2016. Reger, www. Fugue State Films, Co., UK, retrieved 23 June 2016. Max Reger Institute in Karlsruhe, Neue Full, SWR, retrieved 19 July 2016.